I still hear the rain when I close my eyes. Not the soft kind. No, this was the kind that split the sky open like a wound. And in the middle of it, my mother's voice cut through the storm. Let's see if trash like you survives out here. I didn't fight her hand when she shoved me out of the car. I didn't fight my father's fingers when they clamped around my throat. I didn't even fight the boots that found my ribs once I hit the mud. Because I was too busy pressing record. That was the part they never understood. They thought they were teaching me fear, but all they did was give me evidence. When they drove off, tires hissing through the flooded road, I lay there, bleeding, shivering, tasting dirt. My sister's spit still warm on my cheek. The storm swallowed their taillights, leaving nothing but darkness and the sound of my own breath straining against cracked ribs. Hours passed before a truck finally slowed. A stranger lifted me into his passenger seat, whispering something soft and worried. I didn't respond. My mind wasn't in that truck. It was already planning. Back when I still believed in family, I used to trust them. It sounds pathetic now, but I did. I believed my father when he promised he'd always protect me. I believed my mother when she said she loved all her children equally. I even believed my brother the night he bragged about making a quick $30K on a bet. I believed until I realized they only saw me as their backup bank account, their scapegoat, their expendable child. When my brother lost that bet, he didn't beg them for help. He demanded it from me. Mom stood behind him like a guard dog. Dad folded his arms like a judge. And I was the sentence. The storm wasn't the first time they tried to break me, just the first time they failed. The beginning of their mistake. The moment I saw my phone still glowing in my hand, still capturing every insult, every kick, every threat, they were already finished. But I didn't rush. Revenge is only satisfying when it's slow. I spent the next week in silence, letting them believe I'd disappear the way they wanted. Not one call, not one message, not even a complaint to the police. My absence was its own kind of trap. Because the thing about parents like mine, they don't feel guilt, but they do feel fear. They began calling, then texting, then leaving frantic voicemails wondering where I was, worried someone might ask questions. I saved every message, evidence stacked neatly beside the video. I wasn't coming back for their love. I was coming back for justice. Building the plan. Step 1, a lawyer friend owed me a favor. Step 2, a journalist owed me a bigger one. Step 3, my parents didn't know either existed. I gave them the recording. Every second, every scream, every kick, every threat. They listened to it in complete silence. Then came the expression I had waited weeks to see. Horror. Not mine, theirs. They knew exactly what to do. Child abuse, attempted harm, financial exploitation, neglect, abandonment in life-threatening conditions. The law had names for everything they did. My family had no idea the storm they thought would kill me was about to drown them. Revenge arrives quietly. First, the journalist released the story anonymously. Family throws adult son onto road in thunderstorm over brother's gambling debt. The video was blurred, but the voices? Crystal clear. It spread fast. People didn't need names, they recognized the cruelty. And soon enough, neighbors recognized the voices. Within days, my parents were pariahs. Whispers in grocery stores, cold stares in the streets. My brother's gambling friends demanding their money back. My sister being mocked at school for calling her own sibling trash. Then the police knocked on their door. Funny how justice looks a lot like a badge when it arrives. The confrontation I waited for. The day of the hearing, they walked in looking like ghosts. My father's swagger was gone. My mother's lips trembled. My brother wouldn't look up. My sister stood behind them, pale and shaking. I waited until they sat down before I stepped inside. Their eyes widened. They thought I'd be broken. They thought I'd still be that kid lying in the mud begging for help. But I walked in straight, clean, calm. Their expressions collapsed in the same second. My dad whispered, You did this?" I leaned in just enough for him to hear, "No, you did." Their lawyer dropped his pen. Their faces drained. For the first time in my life, they understood consequences. Payoff. They lost everything: reputation, money, custody battles, investigations, restraining orders. My brother ended up paying back his own debt, not because he wanted to, but because no one else would touch him now.